Trump's new executive order sparks controversy, an un-American attack on free speech. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has issued a new executive order titled Countering Domestic Terrorism and Organized Political Violence, claiming it is a response to the recent rise in political violence. However, the order has sparked widespread controversy, with critics arguing it targets political opponents and undermines constitutionally protected speech. The order controversially associates domestic terrorism with ideological views such as anti-Americanism, anti-capitalism, and anti-Christianity, positions that are undeniably protected by the First Amendment, which guarantees freedom of speech. Trump justifies the measure by citing a surge in heinous assassinations and acts of political violence in recent years, referencing incidents such as the attempted 2022 assassination of a Supreme Court justice and a recent shooting at an Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) facility. Yet, the order notably excludes politically motivated violence against Democratic figures, including the June shooting of 2 Minnesota state lawmakers, one of whom died. The executive order also presents padded statistics, claiming a more than 1,000% increase in attacks on ICE officers since January 2025 compared to the same period last year. However, these figures are based on a very low baseline and appear to include minor scuffles during enforcement actions. More troubling still, the order frames First Amendment-protected political speech as evidence of extremism. It asserts that anti-fascist movements depict core American values, such as support for law enforcement and border control, as fascist, thereby inciting violence. It further states that common threads among so-called domestic terrorists include opposition to America, capitalism, and Christianity, along with extreme views on migration, race, and gender. Legal experts and civil liberties advocates argue that this language constitutes a direct threat to free expression. The U.S. Supreme Court has long maintained, especially in the landmark Brandenburg v. Ohio 1969 ruling, that speech cannot be criminalized unless it incites imminent lawless action and is likely to produce such action. Observers note the clear political slant of the executive order, which appears aimed at suppressing leftist and progressive voices. The contrast is particularly striking when compared to Republican outrage in 2009 over a Department of Homeland Security report warning about right-wing extremism, which included references to anti-abortion and anti-immigration groups. At the time, conservatives condemned the report as overly broad and unfairly targeting dissenters. Critics now argue that Trump is using similar tactics to silence his own political opposition. While the order claims to defend American values, it may, in effect, erode one of the most fundamental: the right to free speech. In trying to combat anti-Americanism, Trump's executive order may have become un-American itself.